Hello.
Hello, Shadab. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day three.
Good
And
morning, Victor. Good morning, everyone, too.
yeah, and today being the last day, So, so far, 20 participants. So we are just waiting for another 3 4 minutes, and then we'll start. Others are still joining, so just wait for 3 4 minutes, then we'll start.
Meanwhile, just to tell you guys one thing, that is, whatever we have developed last week, create the same XML, keeping Kotlin as the language in another project. Okay, because today we will not be getting the time to design the layout. So we will be using the same layout. Just instead of .java, make use of Kotlin. So you will be having the extension as .kt. Okay. Today I will show you two applications. So that's the reason won't be having much time. So everybody just develop that application. Is my sound is low?
No, it is all right.
Yeah.
So it is already 10:05. So let's start, guys. Once again, good morning and welcome. So today is our last day, and without wasting time, I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Sharup. And before I hand it over, today after the session, we got few announcement and few surprise for you. So during the last part of the session, we'll be announcing some special rewards for you. and just wait for the surprise. Let's the session get over, then we'll discuss all those. Thank you everyone, and Sharup, you can take over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just do confirm me whether my screen is visible or not. So this was the layout which I have even shared with you guys in the video, which Victor has already forwarded to you people. Okay. So before I go into this application, what I will do is I will first show you, considering that probably you are doing Kotlin for the first time. So I would prefer to start with one small app and then I will come over here. So basically we will be doing two applications today. Okay. So I will be trying to cover up all the thing within the stipulated time span. So I'm selecting the empty activity. Give whatever name you feel like. Just I will teach you in this app how to take input from the user in Kotlin. Okay. So taking input. Make sure the language should be Kotlin. It should not be Java. It should be Kotlin, because today's session will be entirely on Kotlin. Last 2 days we were working on Java, so it's going to be Kotlin. So click finished. Well, talking about Kotlin, the way we work in Java, Kotlin is completely different from that. The concept of variable declaration, the concept of initialization, all these things are brand new concept in Kotlin. And hopefully you must be knowing that Google has already introduced Kotlin to be their official programming language for Android. Okay. So who knows, maybe after a few years, they would stop giving support to Android, because already it has been announced as the official language for Android. So that's the reason there is a very big demand in market in context to Kotlin. So it's a good opportunity that today you will be getting an overview of how the Kotlin architecture is as far as program is concerned. And in the upcoming days, if you're really eager to learn more about it and to develop app, because you also know that when you will be sitting for an interview, at the very HR round, they always talks about what project you have done. Okay. So it's a high time, in whichever semester you are right now, it would take a good amount of time to develop one app, because this is something which is totally out of the syllabus. So in that case, if you don't have sufficient knowledge, you will not be able to come up with some realistic application. Okay. And when the topic is such a broad one, which is right now under development, so drastic changes are taking place with lot of new hardware configuration coming in picture. Like for example, camera plays a very important role in today's scenario, right? Same goes for real-time database, because you have to preserve the data and you have to access the data in a very quick span of time. So the concept of relational database is now replaced by NoSQL, not only SQL. Okay. So that means overall a lot of changes are taking place in regard to mobile development. So if you people take it in a positive sense, and if you start working on these things, definitely it will be good for you when you sit for the interview. Since I have chosen Kotlin as the app, it might download some of the files at your end also. Okay, so it might take some time before the environment gets created. Okay. So as you can see over here, if I move over here, this is how the main activity would look like. Last day, we saw main activity in context to Java, but now you are seeing main activity in context to Kotlin. And look over here, the way the inheritance is taking place. If you look at this line, you will find that how the inheritance is taking place. So this is the modern syntax of implementing inheritance. So this is your child class and this is your base class. Okay. And as you can see, you must be knowing that a class name followed by a function is always known as constructor. So that means in one single line, they have also invoked the constructor as well. Okay. So things are bit different over here. Uh, things are things are a bit different over here in regard to Kotlin. So let's come to our XML file. Like the last day, here also we are getting one text view. So what I will do is I will first switch on my show system UI so that the status bar and the app bar will be shown. So this is our status bar, this is our app bar. It's been revealed over here. Okay, you can see it. Fine. So let me split the screen and let's come and see the constraint layout. Last day also we were working on constraint layout. Today also we will be working on constraint layout because this is the default layout which Google is encouraging. So you must be well acquainted with constraint layout. So let's design our app. So what we will do is we'll remove this text view for the time being. We'll start from the very scratch. Okay. Since time is a constraint, so I will be a little bit faster today. So the entire session is getting recorded. So if you people need this thing, Victor will provide you the recording as well. So the first thing is that I want to give a caption to my app. So you know very well, if you click on the palette, it will come up with text view. So let me drag the text view and let me drop it within the screen. And as I do that, on the left-hand side, you will get the XML for the text view. On the right-hand side, you will get the widget. So here is a widget. And last day, we have already seen that if you drag a widget inside the screen, you will be getting error. So can anyone tell me in the chat very fast why this error is coming? Okay, your chat has the option is disabled. Okay, because of your okay, see, if you people don't take it seriously, then nothing can be done. Okay, see, Victor was forced to disable the chat. Otherwise, I could have taken the chat and I could have given you the answer to this question. If this kind of messages comes up, nothing more can be said. You people are pretty grown up, right? So you should know how to behave yourself. If you are not interested, then don't waste your time over here, right? You don't waste your time. Let the other guys take the session seriously. Fine. So unfortunately, I won't be able to take the chat because of these kind of messages coming up. So all the time, good notions are not going to work in a positive sense. Okay. Don't worry, these people who are coming up with this kind of messages, sooner or later they will realize, right? Yeah. So sooner or later they will be realizing all these things. Okay. So let me tell you that why this error is coming. Hopefully you must be knowing already that the constraint has not been set yet. Last day we saw two constraints by default we have to set. So let's set both of those constraints. So I will drag this handler to the start. Yeah, to the start. And you also know that there is the other side, which is the end of the parent. And here it is, end of the parent. But you know this is only the x-axis you have given. The y-axis also required. So we will be going for the top as well. So the top constraint is coming in picture. And let me select it and drag it to the top. Yeah, now see, the error goes off. The error is no more because we have added all the three constraints. Okay. And last day also I said that if you want to add some extra space, you can go for that even. Come to the attribute. Look over here. You have a drop-down list where you can add some extra spacing. See, you have added 32 dp. So it's up to you how much space you feel like you can put it over here. So if you want to go for 40, that is also absolutely fine. So 40 space will be given to you over here. Okay. So let me very quickly give a caption to my text view. So over here is my text view. So let's give a caption over here like app that takes user input. User input. Okay. Fine. You can see the caption coming up over here. So if you want to go for text size, you can specify how much font you would like to go for. Suppose if I go for 40, yeah, 40 is too big. So better we would go for like around 30 dp. Yeah, 30 dp is not that bad. Okay, or even you can reduce it a bit, like 28 would be good enough. Yeah, 28 dp. Fine. Okay, so text style can also be there. See, there are so many options are there. Text style, text color. We can go for bold also. Yes. Okay. So we have given one caption. Fine. Now what I want is, today I will be showing you a new thing. We are trying from our side to make this particular session as interesting for you people. Last day I told you also that not everybody will be getting what they expect. Only the one who try their best would be getting the reward, right? So how do I take input from the user? That was my app caption, is app that takes user input. So how do I take input from the user? So for that reason, I need to have an edit text, the text through which user will be able to give the input. Okay. So a new widget, I'm introducing it. So let me collapse the text view so that you can view what is happening at the XML side. So there is a widget called edit text. So let's come to the palette. Let's come to the text. Look, these are all different type of edit text which can take input from the user. Anyone, you can use it, and see Google has categorized all these different edit text for which you can use it for different purposes. Okay. So if you are considering Kotlin very seriously, then definitely you have to know all these things, because today in modern era, these are all that you will find around us. Okay. So let me drag the plain text. Because of shortage of time, I'm just showing you the fundamental part. If you are really interested, if you consider that to develop one app which will be working on Google's Kotlin, then definitely you will think after this particular session how to improvise it. Okay. So this is our edit text, which is meant for taking input from the user. We know that whenever we put a widget, there will be an error, and error has already started coming down. So we need to go for minimum two constraints, x-axis, y-axis. So what I want to do is I want to put this edit text at the center of the row as well as center of the column. So basically center of the screen, somewhat like that. So you know, if you want to put the thing at the center, you have to go for y-axis as well as x-axis. So I will drag it to the top. Yes, see, as I inserted two constraints, one was at the bottom of the parent, one is at the top of the parent. Absolute x will be removed the moment I will go for start and I will go for end. So this value won't be there, it will remove automatically. So let me drag the handler, go to the start. Here it is. Yeah, see, x got dissolved automatically. Such a sophisticated application is Android. Okay. So the changes which you are taking place, immediately it gets reflected. Okay. So there is no error now. Okay, there is an error. That error is like too small. If I just ignore this one, or if you go for fixed, whatever that is, you can ignore it, you can fix it. So if you fixed it, the error will go off. Okay, it comes up for the first time, and then if you just fixed it or you ignore it, the error goes off. Okay, so this was basically the minimum height, the height it was talking about. What should be the mean height? Okay, so it has given a height of around 48 dp. Okay, so if you want, you can keep it like this, no problem. Okay, now see over here. If you want to increase the width, okay, so this is the current width which you are seeing, and this is the height which you are seeing. So if you want to increase the width, so over here you have a option called EMS. So EMS is meant for the width. Suppose I want to increase a little bit. So from 10, I'm just putting it 12. See, the width has expanded. Okay. If I go for 15, see, the width is expanding. So it's up to you to determine what kind of width you want to settle down. So I'm happy with the width of 12. Okay. So that was about the width. Input type, I'm removing the input type. I don't need this input type. That is fine. Yeah. Okay. And over here, see, the text is there. That means when I will run my app, you will see by default this text will be shown in the edit text. Okay. The edit text will come up with this text. But I don't want to put a default text over here. Rather, what I want is I will go for a hint. You must have seen that in web or in app that a very light text comes in the edit text. When you put the cursor, that text goes off. Okay. In the web world, we call it as a placeholder. Okay. In the web world, we call it as a placeholder. And here we call it as a hint. So let me remove this text. So as I do that, the text won't be there anymore. So let me add hint. Let me add hint over here. So the hint has been added. And whatever you want to write over here, like enter your name, something like that I wrote. See, it's not very active. It's dim in color. The moment you will put the cursor, the text will go off. Okay, that's what the hint is. Fine. Okay. And what else can you put? Text alignment. Yeah, text alignment. Suppose I want to bring the text at the center of the edit text. It's not at the center right now. It is by default, it would be the left side. So let's go for the center. Yeah, now you see it's at the center. Okay, looking good. Okay, so I'm feeling bad that I can't interact with you guys even in the chat also. But it would have been good if I could have interacted with you people. Then I could have asked you a few things. Last day I told you that all this is happening at the XML file. Okay, and last day you saw even that an app is a combination of two files. One is .xml, the other one is .java, and today instead of .java you have got .kotlin. Okay. So everything is happening at one side of the coin. The other side is not yet aware about all these changes. So how the Kotlin will come to know about all these changes? So for that reason, you have to give identity to these widgets. See over here, there is an ID that has already been associated. So I will go for just a second. Just a second.
Good morning, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience and all that trouble that you are facing because of some stupid people. So your chat is active now. We are not happily disabled, but we had to active now. You can communicate in chat, and if we find any more spammer, they would be immediately removed. Don't worry, and ignore all the sheets that if any spammer post. Thank you.
Okay, Victor. So yeah. So last day I stated that all this is happening at the XML level, right? Okay. Meanwhile, let me connect my handset also so that I can run it directly in my mobile phone. Okay. Yeah. Now it is connected. So we have to give an ID to this widget so that we can use this widget in my Java file. So this is an edit text. So in abbreviation, I'm writing like EDT underscore name. Okay, just choosing a name dynamically, randomly, something like that. Okay, fine. So that is my edit text. Okay, let me start the execution also, but it would take time to run the app since I'm doing it for the first time. Okay, now I need a button because once the user is given the input, definitely user will click the button. Okay, so let's go for a button. So let me collapse the edit text. Let's come to the palette. Let's take a button over here, drag it and drop it. Oh, let's take a button over here, drag it and drop it. Yeah, fine. Here it is. Let me collapse this one. Here is button. So let me go for the constraint. So what I want to do is I want to keep the button in between the edit text and the bottom. Okay, and the bottom. So for the that we will go for a constraint, edit text, edit text. Yeah, and okay, since the Gradle build is going on, that's the reason it is taking a bit of time. Okay, yes, now it's fine. So bottom has been set already, but the top has not been set yet. So let me go and fix the top of the edit text, edit underscore name bottom. So I will go for bottom. Yeah, fine. Now I will go for the x-axis. See, some absolute x has been shown over here, but once I will go for the x-axis, yes, and I will go for this one as well. Okay, all right. So here it is. You can keep it like this, or if you feel, you can go for bottom as well also. So see over here, what are the constraints that got added? I have gone for the bottom of my edit text. Start is there, the beginning is there, bottom is there. Okay, let it be like this. Let me add an ID to my button. So btn underscore submit, that's the ID I've given. Margin top, I don't want any margin top. So let me remove the margin top. Yeah. So if I remove the margin top, it will go straight down. Just a minute. Let me remove the, let me bring it down a bit. Yes. Yeah, now it is better. All right. So this extra attribute got added. Let me remove this one. I don't need this. Yes, now it is fine. Horizontal bias also I don't need. Yeah, now it is okay. So bottom is there. See, bottom is there. Let me keep it aside a little bit so that you can see it properly. Let me pull it up. Yes, now it is exactly at the center. Okay, this is what I was trying to do it. So let me change the caption of the button. Submit data. Okay. If you want to increase the width, you can do it. If you want to increase the width, you can do it. You can add some fixed value over here like 200 dp, 200 dp. Yeah, see, the width got increased. Okay, fine. So let's see how the app is looking right now. Okay, so let me start my screen sharing. PMD. Just wait for a while. Since the app is getting executed, that's the reason the system is a little bit freezed. Yeah, now it's there. Yes. Okay. Android consumes a lot of memories. So that's the reason at the very beginning, it would take a little bit of time and then it gets settled down. Okay, let's the compilation is going on. Okay, let it continue the work. Meanwhile, let me do my work. So I have created a ID for my button over here. I have given the width. Let the height be default as it is, and 4 constraint I have already written down. So now what I want is, after I have given the input, I want to show the output also. I want to display the output as well. Okay. So for that reason, I can go for a label over here, a text view also, where the output will be actually being shown. Fine. Let not disturb the build process. Let the build get over. Otherwise, again, it will get freeze. Just wait for a while, huh? Yes, now it is getting ready. Currently, you people are from which semester? Please write down that in the chat. Who are from which semester? So I will get a hint that you guys are from which semester. Okay, 4th semester. And department, computer science. Okay, 6th semester is also there. Okay, yeah, ITCS is there. Okay. Yeah, here is my app. Okay, since the build is not yet finished, the reason the button is not there, let's wait for a while so that the button can come down. The installation is taking place. Yeah, now it's visible purely. Okay, we can see it. So here is my hint. If I put my cursor over here and then I can type it. I can type it. You can see the keyboard coming up. So you can type from over here. Now what I want is, after I've written, I will be clicking this button. So as I click this button, the data should come and it should show me in our text view that what input I have given. Okay, that is what I'm trying to achieve. Fine. So let's do it now. Okay, we can add one more thing. I can drag this constraint to the, yeah, now it is better. And I will remove this extra spacing which I have given at the top, then it will be exactly at the center. Yes, see, now it is exactly at the center. So smoothly, the design can be actually been done. Okay. And this is the beauty of constraint layout. You know, Google took this concept of constraint layout from iOS. In iOS, this is the way you design the application. Initially, Google did not have, or Android was not having constraint layout. There was relative layout, linear layout, those layouts were there, but that was making the app becoming very heavy because a lot of nesting has to be done. Then Google saw its neighbor, which is Apple. Apple makes use of constraint layout by default. Okay, so from there, Google started working on constraint layout, and finally it is now available. Okay, so a lot of technologies Google has taken from iPhone, and that's the reason iPhone are so costly. Okay? It's really, really great to work on iPhone. I don't know anybody have got any idea about iOS or not, but if you're really looking for developing application which is very high paid application, then of course it will be iPhone or iOS. Okay, so my text view is there, and I want to create one more text view so that my input should be shown over here. Okay, so let me drag one more text view. So let's come to the text over here. Let's drag it and drop it over here. Okay, done. Let's close it. Okay, so again, bottom. Okay, yeah, start and end. Right, exactly the center. Here is the constraint. I have to give the ID to this text view because this text view I need in my app. I need this text view in my app. So let me give the ID as txt underscore result. Okay, txt underscore result. Fine. Uh, I don't need to show any text right now. Let it be invisible. Only when the user has given the input and click the button, then it should be visible. And text size, let it be around 28 dp. Okay, fine. Okay, so that's all from the part of my design. So not much change you will notice because my text view is actually does not have a text right now. So it would look like there is no existence of the text view, but actually text view is there. Okay, it is there, but just that you are unable to see it. Okay, so when we will go for the code, now we'll start the code part, and then you will be able to view the text view actually. So not much change as far as the look and feel is concerned. This was the thing. Okay, so if you come to the code now, so let's move on to the code now. So here is my main activity, which is my Kotlin file. So how many widgets are there which I will be in need when I will do the programming? Okay, let me split the screen so that I don't have to move from one to another. So on the right side, here it is. Yeah. So I just need my code window. Yes. So how many widgets do I need in my code? The caption, I don't need the caption. I need edit text, I need button, I need text view. So 3 widgets I need. Okay. Now we are in Kotlin. Now we are working in Kotlin. Kotlin has come up with a very big solution of a problem which Android developers or Java developers have been facing for a long point of time. That is null pointer exception. Null pointer exception. You must have heard about this exception. In Java, null pointer exception has been a very big issue for the Java developers because if I declared a variable, what is the meaning of null pointer exception? It means like I have declared a resource is there in the memory, but that resource is not initialized. Okay. You have declared one resource in the memory, but you have not initialized that resource and you're trying to access that resource. What will happen then? There where the null pointer exception comes in. Because you know that if I declare a resource, I can keep it in the stack, I can keep it in the heap. The problem will come if you keep it in the heap, right? So if you are keeping the resource in the heap, you have to initialize that resource. And by mistake, without initializing the resource, if you try to access the value of the resource, well, there is no data inside the resource, then what will the app do? The app simply get freezed. So that's what the problem of null pointer exception. Okay. So in order to resolve this problem, Kotlin has introduced a very important feature. It's a new important feature which you will be learning today that Kotlin has introduced. Let me show you what will happen if I try to do it without using that feature. As you can see over here, these are the 2 separate files. Activity underscore main.xml is a one file, main activity.txt is another file. And we can well understand that the widget which I have declared inside my XML, they are not there in my Kotlin file. So we have to declare the objects and then we have to connect the object. If you remember last class, I used one method with the help of which I was connecting. Can anyone tell me that method name? With the help of that method, I was connecting the widget that exists in my XML file with that of the object that exists in the Java file. No, not onClick. OnClick was meant for the button. Just imagine that there is an image. That image, yes, exactly. Find view by ID, right? That's the function. That was the function which we have to use, find view by ID. Thank you. Right, that was the function. So first what I will try to do is I will try to declare the widget. Okay. So let me come to my class. Here is the class. Let me hit the enter. So I want to declare a widget from edit text. Kotlin comes up with a keyword called var. Var means variable. Var means whose content will change at the time of execution. Kotlin has introduced two new words called val and var. So there is a word called val, there's a word called var. Val means it won't change. Whatever value you're assigning it, that will be as it is. It won't change. Whereas var is variable. The var keyword which Kotlin has introduced, it has been taken from the web development. In web development, var is been used. Okay, like in JavaScript, I don't know whether you guys know the web programming language or not. In JavaScript, when we declare a variable, we use the var keyword. Okay, Kotlin has started using the same keyword. Okay, but this was not there in Java. So you need to get yourself updated. Java is there in your syllabus. Java is there in your university. Everybody is bound to learn Java. That's nothing a big deal which you will be doing when you will sit in for the interview. The recruiter will try to find out what extra you know. Buy one, get one free. Do you have that concept? That is what the people looks today. Okay. So var is a keyword that Kotlin makes use of for declaring a variable which value will keep on changing. So let me give a name to a variable that will represent my edit text. You can choose whatever name you want. So I'm writing in short like edt underscore input. Okay, edit underscore input. I took that name. And colon was not there in Java, but in Kotlin it is there. And it belongs to the class edit text. And lastly also we saw that the moment I will hit the enter, the import package will take place. That is android.widget. The moment I will hit the enter, you will find an error coming up. There will be an error. This is what the new development that Kotlin has done. What the error is saying? Error is saying that you have declared a reference. You have declared a reference, but it is not initialized. This is what I was saying. Java will not create any problem. Had this been Java, it will not create any problem. It will allow you to do this. But Kotlin will not allow you to do that. Kotlin is saying either you initialize it right now, or let me initialize it from my side so that this reference will hold something. Okay. Now you cannot initialize it right now. Why? Because when this particular class is going to run, I'm doing everything outside this particular function called onCreate. Okay. All these details you will come to know if you get into the broader version of the training form, because this is like a workshop, so I have to cut short many things. I did not tell you the life cycle method of an activity. So in activity, there are more than 6 life cycle methods are there. Okay. On create, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, on destroy. So 6 life cycle methods are there. Just because of it's a workshop, so I went straightly on the practical part rather ignoring the theory portion. So on create is a system defined method of the activity life cycle. That is very important because this method tells you who is my XML file. Can you see r.layout.activity_xml? So this is the XML file name, activity file name. Now I cannot initialize it right now over here because unless and until this XML file is not executed, how can you initialize it? You have to wait till the XML gets initialized, then only you will be able to initialize the object. Okay. Your XML has to execute first because everything is there in the XML. You cannot bypass that. So I cannot initialize it right now. I have to leave it like this. But Kotlin will not allow you to do that. Kotlin is saying, okay, if you can't initialize it, don't problem. There's no problem. I will initialize it from my side by using a keyword called late init. Late init. This keyword Kotlin has introduced. So Kotlin is saying that I'm creating a reference which is not yet being initialized. This will avoid null pointer exception. Okay, so these two are a big introduction in Kotlin. So I have created one widget, one object which represent the following widget. The same way I have to go for my button, and the same way I have to go for my text view. Okay, so a couple of more object I need. So let init var. So for my button, I'm writing btn underscore submit. Whatever name you feel like, you can choose it. It's up to you to decide. And this is going to be of type Android.widget button. So it is of type button. So if you expand the import segment, see, button edit text has been added. In the same manner, let's go for my text view where I'm supposed to show my result. So let init var txt underscore result colon text view, which is also within the package called Android.widget. Okay. So 3 widget object I have declared, but they are not initialized right now. So you need to initialize them. Fine. So I will be initializing them once my XML file got initialized. So I have to wait until the XML is not initialized. Okay. So I have to wait until the XML is not initialized. So how do I initialize my objects? So for that reason, what I will do is I will create one method. If you notice one thing, Android does not have, or Java does not have, means Java, Android using Java, okay, does not have the keyword called func, but Kotlin has introduced the keyword called func. So whenever you are declaring a function, you have to use this keyword. So let me declare one function. So fun func, first I have to write this keyword called func. So that will denote to Kotlin that you are declaring a function. Whatever function name you want, you can give it. I am declaring a function so that I can initialize my views. Okay, so I chose the name as init view because I have to initialize these 3 views. They are not yet initialized. I have to initialize them. So how do I initialize it? Find view by ID method, already somebody told. Yes. So edit edt underscore input equal to find view by ID. And can anyone tell me inside find view my ID what I need to write, or whatever I write, what it does denote? What I need to write inside find view by ID, what that denotes? Whatever we write inside find view by ID, what it denotes? Yeah, art.id denotes what? Art.id denotes what it denotes, what it means. Last day I said it denotes some numbers, and those numbers represent what? Can anyone recall? Art.id denotes, it denotes the address. R.id dot whatever is the widget name I have given. So edt underscore name, this is what I have given. So it denotes address. See, this is the number. So this number is not a number. This is the number of, or this is the address where this widget is residing. Okay. So inside my edit, see, I have given the ID called edt underscore name. That turn up over here. In the similar manner, I have to go for button as well. I have to go for button as well. So btn underscore submit equals to find view by ID r dot ID dot and the name of the button is btn underscore submit as well. Okay. Look, one thing, Kotlin does not make use of semicolon. Have you noticed this? This is something new in Kotlin. In Kotlin, there is no semicolon. The Kotlin does not make use of semicolon like what is there in Java. So as far as codes are concerned, Kotlin is much cleaner in context to Java, and that was there in the mind of Google developer. Okay. See, Google did not develop Java. It was developed by Sun Microsystem. Google was working on Java. So Google also felt that there are some shortcomings which is there in Java, which they wanted to ignore it. So that's what has been implemented in regard to Kotlin. So txt underscore result, that's the last reference. I have to go for it. Find view by ID, r dot id dot, the name of the text view is txt underscore result. Yes. So this is the last text view. Okay. So all the widgets got initialized, but this method is not yet been called. I have to call this method. So let's copy this one and let me call it right from here, and the method gets called. So this is how we are going to initialize our references. Okay. Last day you saw how did I give a call to the button? How was the button been called? So 3-4 lines I have to write. But when it comes to Kotlin, the things are more cleaner. Okay. Those students who are a little bit scared about Java, for them Kotlin can be very user-friendly language. Okay. With a very basic concept of object-oriented programming, you can start developing app in Kotlin. It is much neat and clean, and you will see right now only. So I have already initialized my 3 objects. Now what I want to do, when the user is going to click the button, an action should take place. So in case of Java, we have to use the interface. Then we have to use an abstract class. The abstract class had one abstract method. We have to define that method. All that we have done in the last day. Everything is there in the video. But as of Kotlin is concerned, you don't have to do all these things. You can move straight forward. You can move straight forward. How? So once my button has been already initialized, now I can give a call to the same method which I used it in Java, but without inheriting. Let me show you what I'm trying to mean. So my button object name is btn underscore submit. So I will write btn underscore submit dot set on click listener. This was the method which I wrote on the other day. Set on click listener. Look over here, there are 2 types of set on click listener. Go for the second one, because the second one has got a view parameter. Can you see there is a view parameter is over here. The second one has a view parameter, which is not there in the first one. So go for the second one. Okay, go for the second one. Hit the enter. Hit the enter. And now you are going to define the body of this method. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to declare one more function. When the user is going to click this button, another function will get called. So I'm going out of this function. It is good to write a modular approach. That means you develop the code in a different function so that it is more neat and clean. I could have done my work over here also. But see over here already there are brackets are there. Outside also there are brackets are there. The thing might get a little bit of cluttered. So that's the reason I'm creating one more function over here. Again, I'm saying it's not a compulsory one. I could have done the work right over here also, no problem. Okay. So let's give a name to this function as display. Nothing specific, you choose whatever name you feel like. And here you give a call to this display function. Display function. That's it. See how neat and clean. If you compare the last day's program was much lengthy. But see this program, it is much neat and cleaner. There is no switch case. Although switch case r dot, you have to write the r dot id dot button id, all those things I have to do it. all those hassles has been removed in Kotlin. So Kotlin is much user friendly when it is in regard to the code is concerned. Okay. So what I will do, I will simply give a print statement over here just to see whether the thing is getting executed or not. So I will go for system.out.println, system.out.println. So I'm writing just a message called hello world. Let's see whether if I click the button, if I tap the button, the thing is responding or not. Okay, so let me run the code now. And let's open the thing. Let's see. Yes, there is no error. Let the app get installed. Here it is. Okay, let me open my run terminal so that I can get to see the message. Here is my run terminal. Here is my app. So as I click the button, see, hello world is there. I'm tapping my button. See, as I'm tapping the button, each time I'm doing it, you can feel that I'm tapping my button over here. See, hello world is coming. So my button is purely functional. And just see the amount of code I have written. Such a small piece of code I have written. Okay, so these were the three objects. I'm sharing it even in the chat window. If you feel you can take it from there also. Here is my method of our initialization. And here is my display function. Up to this, anybody has got any question before I move to the next part? Up to this, anybody has got any question? Is for Kotlin 2, meaning I'm working in Kotlin only. Is for Kotlin 2 means printing text. Yeah, the whole thing I'm doing in Kotlin only. Whatever I'm doing, I'm doing in the Kotlin file only. This is my extension. Yeah, it's same. But I will prefer not to use system.out.println. Rather, I will be showing something else. Okay, let me come to my, let me close this file. Okay, now I'm not using the XML file. I'm working entirely on my Java Kotlin file. You must have seen some small, like a message comes up. If you delete a file or if you delete a message, have you seen a small pop-up message comes up that stays for a while and then it gets dissolved? Have you noticed such kind of pop-up files, pop-up messages? Yes, right, toast. Yes, you are right. So I will be just introducing a toast over here, okay? Just to show you that. So that I don't have to see the output in my run window. Here I don't have to see my output. I can see directly from the app itself. So toast is there. Toast is there. Toast. It is also a part of Android.widget. Okay. So toast dot make text. Make text. So if you notice one thing, you will find that make text is a function. Make text is a function. And what do you think? What toast can be? What is toast? What do you think? Any idea? What toast would be? Any clue? What can be a toast? Anything that starts with uppercase, what does that mean? Yes, not maybe, it is a class. Anything that starts with uppercase, it is a class. Now, is there anyone who can tell me? Let me see. If you have a good concept in Java, then you can give me the answer to this question. If a class directly calls a function, when it can happen? When can a class? Yes, absolutely correct. Very good. Very good. Right. It, these guys, they didn't take much time to give me the answer. Absolutely. So it's nice teaching you people. Yes, make text is a static function. A class can directly call a function. A class can call a function directly provided this function is static by nature. Okay. Yes, this is a static function. And you know, static function will make use of static variable only. Right, you know that a static function always makes use of static variable only, which is basically a class. Static means representation, which is representing the class itself. So for that reason, the very first parameter, you have to write the class name. So in which class you are right now? You are in the main activity. The first parameter is the class name. You can write the class name or you can write the this keyword, this. So this means the current instance, the current class. Okay. The context means basically the class. So you can write this means in which class the toast method is been getting defined. That's what Android is trying to understand. Okay, you are passing this particular parameter. Android wants to know that in which class this parameter or this function is getting defined. Okay, that's what you are doing. So with the first parameter called this. Second is a string message, a character message you want to put. User tap the button. As the second parameter. The third parameter is the duration. Here also again I have to give a call to the toast. Dot, there are two durations are there, length underscore long or length underscore short. Let me go for length underscore long. And finally there will be dot show. This method is there. Fine. So now let's run the program one more time and let's see what changes it's going to come up with. Let's see the changes. So now let me click the button or tap the button. See, user tap the button. So the message is popping up. So that means the event handling part of the button is working perfectly well. Okay. Just see how small amount of code we have to write. Had this been Android, the thing would have been, had this been Android using Java, thing would have been a little more complex. Okay. Now what I have to do, I have to take the input from the user. The user is going to give the input in the edit text. So here is my edit text. So I need to declare a variable who is going to receive my input. I told you a variable can be declared by the keyword called var. Give whatever variable name you want. Suppose I'm giving name, username, something like that I'm writing. Colon, which is of type string. Colon, which is of type string. Okay. So I declared a variable. And this variable will be assigned by whom? By whatever input is there in the edit text. So I need to collect the input from my edit text. So what I will write, edt underscore input dot text, because edit text is going to deal with the text. See? Text from get text. So what it will be doing? It will pick the data up. It is going to extract the data with the help of toString function. So whatever input user will be giving inside the edit text, that it will pick up and it is going to store it inside this variable. Okay. So the name of the object which is of type edit text. Since this is a text type, so I have to write the property called text. So object name dot text dot toString. It will pick the data from the edit text and it will store it inside this reference variable. And now what I have to do, I have to paste it inside my text view. The same thing I will do it over here again. The name of the text view is txt underscore result dot text equals to the variable name username dot toString. That's it. So from here we took the input. So we collected the input from here. Remember, these are all working with two separate files. So this is one file, this is another file. We are all working with two different files. Two different files are associated. So that's the reason each of these widgets, I have to declare the respective reference variable of these widgets. Okay. And then I have to go for initialization. So this is where the initialization is coming in picture. So we are initializing it. And once the initialization is done, now you can access their content. And here I'm accessing the content. So I'm picking up the data, dropping it inside the reference variable. From the reference variable, I am pasting it inside the widget. That's what I have done. So in an interview, the question can be like this. What are the steps involved? What are the steps involved through which an input given by a user can be further processed? Please write down the steps in chat. Again, I'm saying the question. What are the steps required so that the input given by the user will be received and then can be further processed? So how many steps are coming? Write down the steps one by one in chat. What would be the first step? What do you think? Which step would be the first one? What? It's not, the question is not clear. Respond, please. Okay. The question is, how many steps or what are the steps you have to do so that the input given by the user, whatever input I am giving, like in the edit text, I'm going to give something that would be further processed. Okay, let me explain one more time what I mean. This is my edit text in XML. Once I have defined this, I will be getting this edit text over here. So this is step number 1, declaring a widget inside the XML file. Is this step sufficient for taking the input and further processing? What do you think? Yes or no? Declaring the widget inside the XML file, is the step sufficient? No. The answer is no. So what would be the second step? The second step would be I have to declare a reference variable associated to that widget. So if I have a text view over here, I have to declare a reference variable over here. This is the XML file and this is the .kt file. So if I'm declaring a reference inside the XML, I also need to declare reference inside my Kotlin file. So this will become step 2. So declare a reference associated to that widget. It's step 2. Step 3 is to connect the reference variable of the Kotlin file with the widget that is there in the XML file. So this is step 3, interconnecting between .xml widget with that of .kotlin reference. So this becomes step 3. Now comes step 4. I need a button. Right? Only when user will click the button, then only I will be able to retrieve the data. So if the button is not there, then no process of data retrieval will start. So I need a button also. And the button should have an event. So this set on click is an event. So that will make to step 4. Step 5 would be extracting the value from the edit text. Extracting or picking up the value from edit text. That is step 5. And finally comes step 6. Store the value inside the variable declared within Android Kotlin. So this is the variable which is going to hold the data that user has given. So my question was, how many steps required in order to collect the data given by the user so that it can be further processed? Yes. So can anyone please repeat all those 6 steps which I have said just now? Just give one word for each of the steps. How to define those steps? First step is in the XML, declaring widget in XML. Okay, declaring the widget in XML. This is step 1. Step 2, declaring the reference in your Kotlin file. Step 2. Step 3, initializing them, initializing the reference. Step 4, button having an event. Button having an event is step 4. Step 5, collecting the data from the edit text. Collecting the data from the edit text. And step 6, declaring a variable that hold the collected data. Okay. So these were the 6 steps which you have to remember if you want to be a developer in regard to mobile world. Okay. These are the 6 patent steps which are involved, which have very frequently been asked in interview. So you have to, so with the 6 steps, you are telling that how these 2 files, they are actually interrelated. Up to this, anybody has got any question? If you have any question, you can put it in the chat window. Any question, you can put in the chat window. Sir, why are we using toString method? Yes. toString method, right. You know, okay, let me ask this question. Actually, toString is not coming from Kotlin, it is coming from Java. Suppose in Java, you are writing the hello world program. I'm talking about Java. The hello world program. Okay. So what you will write over there? You will write class. Suppose the class name is ABC. You will write class ABC. And then curly bracket open. You will write public static void main string .js. Again curly bracket open, system.out.println. And 2 curly bracket closing. You will write this much. Right. That's what the program which you have seen on the very first day of your Java practical class, the hello world program. Now suppose you have gone for the interview and the recruiter is asking you a question. Okay. The recruiter has also written the same program in piece of paper, the hello world program, system.class ABC. within bracket they have written that public study void main, and then they have given the system outer printer hello world. Now the recruiter is asking you a very interesting question. The question is, in this hello world program, in this hello world program, is inheritance involved? In the hello world program, which you also did in your lab, maybe on the very first day of your practical, the same program, if the recruiters has written down in a piece of paper and puts forward to you and tell that in this program, it's just a 3-line program, okay? Class name, calling of the main method, SOP, 3-line program. Is there any inheritance involved? Give the answer. Yes, sir. Very good. Anybody else? Anybody else? So which class it is inheriting? Because in the program there was no class name. In that program there was no class name. Very good. Very good. Yes, object class. Right. So every program by default comes up with an object class. So whether you are writing it or not, every program comes up with the object class. So even you did the hello world program, yes, very good. Since object class is super class of every class, right? This is the class that will be there in every program, right? Now inside the object class, do you know what is there actually? How many methods are there inside the object class? Have you ever checked it? If I'm not wrong, around 11 methods are there. Around 11 methods are there in the object class. Out of those 11 methods, one of the method is called toString. So toString method actually belongs to the object class. That method is basically used for the purpose of handling the data members that are present inside the class. So when you're declaring a member inside the class, like what I have done over here, this is the member, right? To me, this is the member. So this is the member of my main activity class. So these are all the members. So when I have to get the data from the one of the member, I have to use this particular toString. So toString method is used for manipulation of the class member with the help of object class. So when you are manipulating it, any members of the class, over here manipulation means getting the data from the edit text. That is what I'm talking about. Here the manipulation is that getting data from the edit text. Okay. You will be in need of toString method. Same thing in Java also, if you go and check it out, you will find that if you want to do anything with the class members, suppose concatenation, you can do it using toString method, or any kind of manipulation in the content of the class member variable that can be done using toString method. Okay. So over here also, see, I have used the same thing, toString method. So after the data got stored over here for picking up the data, I'm using the toString method. So toString method can be used with the class members in order to do any kind of changes in the content of the class members. Okay, so that's the reason the toString method has been used over here, and it is coming from the object class. So let's run the code once and let's see. Okay. So let me give my name. Yeah, it's clearly appearing in the text view smoothly without any issue. So how was this program? What do you think about Kotlin? By seeing this particular program, did you feel very much complex? What do you think? Drop a small feedback. What do you think about this program? Did you find too much complexity in this program? Do you think that Kotlin can be a good choice for your career to make up with some good project? It is easier to handle, right? Right. Yes. That's the reason why the developers wanted to come up with a much cleaner application compared to Android. Okay. Had it been Android, the thing would have been more complex. But in regard to Kotlin, the thing has been very neat and clean. Okay. So this particular app demonstrated a couple of points which I wanted to raise over here. The introduction of the let init keyword, which is resolving a lot of problems. The introduction of the where keyword. The way interface was handled in Kotlin. So this is the way of handling interface in Kotlin. And how do we initialize, how we are initializing data from one reference variable into another reference variable. Okay, this is one reference variable of type widget, and this is a reference variable of type class. So from one memory block, data is coming to another memory block. And finally, we saw the output is coming, right? So with that, we come to an end of this program. So drop a small message. How did you feel? How was the program? Yeah, much easier. So how many of you have already dealt with Kotlin before? Leave a message over here. Who is seeing Kotlin for the first time? Is there anyone who is seeing Kotlin for the first time? Me, okay. First time, okay. Okay. So yeah. So within a 1 hour span of time, you saw Kotlin. That's great. Okay. Had it been Java, thing would have been different for me. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And previous Java app, okay. I've previously done Java app, normal button click. It was also easy. Yeah, right. Okay. Yes. So now we will move to the previous day's program. And so let me close this program and let's move to the previous day's program. Okay. Here it is. And as I told you that Kotlin has introduced constraint layout. Okay. When the introduction of Kotlin, constraint layout became very popular. That's the reason Android, Google is promoting Kotlin along with that constraint layout. But many of the previous app, like way back 5 years ago, 7 years ago, this was not the default view group. At that point of time, linear layout, relative layout, those view groups were there. Okay. So that's the reason I thought that I should give you an hint about those view group also. So this app, now you can do it with the help of constraint layout very easily. You have already seen in last week. But this particular view group is not using the constraint layout. Rather, it is using linear layout. And I want to show you the difference. Just see the difference. So let me split the screen and why I preferred constraint layout. Look at how many view group I have to use. So at the top, there is a relative layout. And then I have to write linear layout. Look over here. There are two view groups are involved. Two view group. One is relative layout. Within that, you remember on the very first day I was talking about tree. I was talking about tree. See, what constraint layout has done it? It has made the view nesting as a flat level, not level by level. No, it has made it just like a one single level. But previously, in order to achieve these two images sitting by side, it was not possible when constraint layout was not there. We have to use multiple view group in order to achieve this. I'm very sure when you saw this image, you thought that this is very much like a constraint layout, but it is absolutely not. And I can show you that, and you are seeing it over here. It is a combination of two view group. One is called relative layout, and within that there is a linear layout. See, inside the linear layout, I have to plot one image view, another image view. Can you imagine now how many view group is coming in picture? For one design, you have to create couple of view groups. So might be even further view groups are also required. And that's how the app was becoming very heavy. This was the problem which Google was facing for a long span of time when constraint layout was not there. And this problem has been resolved in iOS long ago because iOS already introduced the constraint layout. So the difference between constraint layout with other view layouts are, in case of other view layout, you have to achieve nesting. So when you were seeing two widgets side by side, it was not possible before constraint layout with one single layout. It was not possible before constraint layout using one single layout. It was not possible. You have to use multiple layout, and that's what you are seeing over here. So relative layout is the outer layout within which there is an inner layout called linear layout. Within that, the images has been plotted. And linear layout can be of two types. It can be horizontal, it can be vertical. It has got orientation called horizontal or vertical. There are two orientations are there, either horizontal or else vertical. If I go vertical, it will be sitting one below the other one. See, it's sitting one below the other one. But that was not the design. The design was sitting by the side. So we have to go for horizontal. Look, constraint layout and made it so easier. So that's the reason I would prefer that go for Kotlin, go for constraint layout. If you're not following these, you are falling short because Google has recommended Kotlin, Google has recommended constraint layout. Now you can see, if you compare the amount of code what we did last day and the amount of code what it has got, just because of one row having two images, I have to go for linear layout. Imagine if there was another row. Imagine if there was another row that has got three images, then another linear layout was there. So can you imagine how many further nesting has to be there? So that's the reason these concepts are much backdated. They are not in use in a big projects. They are not been used. Okay, so just to give you an idea about the differences, and see, they are not by default will be evenly placed. That's the reason we have to do a small bit of calculation over here. I'm showing it to you. See, there's a property called wet sum. Since I want to create two widgets, so I have written two over here. So internally, in order to generate this layout, Android has to do a small computation that what will be the width and what will be the width and height of this portion, what will be the width and height of this portion, and then it can plot it in the XML file. That's the reason too many view group will take a lot of time in opening the app. So that will not be optimized. Okay, because it has to do these calculations, and any kind of operation will always take a lot of time. But look at the constraint layout, it was not performing any kind of operation, rather it was all based on coordinate geometry it was operating. So that's the reason these calculations are not at all effective. So from this you got the idea that why Google is promoting Android runtime fatal exception, unable to start activity, null pointer exception. See, already error you got, null pointer exception. See, this is what I was saying. When did you encounter this error? Today morning, today. This error is coming. Unable to start the activity because, yes. Just check it out. Just check it out that whether you have given the name to this edit text. Number one, the name has to be there. Number two, did you declare the reference variable over here? Number three, did you call this method in it? If you declare the method, but if you did not call the method, then it will not work. Okay, I'm dropping this whole code in the chat window. You just check it out, okay? Because you saw the app is running from here only. So might be there is a typing mistake at your end. I'm dropping this whole code. I'm dropping this entire code so that, okay, by one go, it will not go. I have to send you part by part. So I'm sending the first half. Is given, sir. Yes, sir. All three done. I'm sending you all the part. In part, I'm sending. So that was my onCreate method. Now I'm sending the init method and then the display method. Just check the bracket portion once, okay? Might be you have made some kind of like spelling mistake or some kind of resource not initialized. Just see that one, okay? Okay. So now we will move to the last program, the previous day's program. So let's come back to the previous day's program. So I showed you that this is not developed by constraint layout. If you go for other layout, what will be the problem? Okay, let's come to the code now. So before I go to the code, I need to see the name of the references. Okay, let me open my XML file. I closed the XML file by mistake. So let's come to the resource. Let's come to layout. Here is my XML file. Here it is. Okay, fine. So let's come to the code and let me split the screen so that I can do it quickly. Okay. So what should I do at first? Somebody please tell me. What should I do at first? What should be my first step in this program? For this program, what should be my first step? Tell me quickly. Okay, let me stop this program execution. Otherwise, let me close this program. Okay, otherwise that program I will not be able to run it. So close the project. Yeah. Yeah. So let me unplug the code. Just a second. Just a second. I will stop my screen share once. Yes, declare widget. Perfect. Just a second. I'm stopping the screen share for a second. Okay, now I'm going to start my screen share again. If you want to change the app name, how can I do that? Means you want to change the app title. If you want to change the app title, then you will come to your resource folder. Inside the resource, you have got values. Inside the values, you have got a file called string.xml. Okay, let me show you. Let me run it and let me show you. Then you will be able to follow. Just a second. Let me run the app first. I got disconnected. Yeah, from the string.xml, you will be able to change the name of the file. See, if you open the string.xml file, you will find the app name is written over here. See, dice roll. So if you change this string, the change will take place also. Just wait a second. Oh, I'm getting too many calls now. Just a second. Okay. Meanwhile, let me declare the uh, widgets. So I have got two images over here. Image roll_1. So let's come over here. So let in it where dice1. I'm giving a name like dice1 colon image view. Okay. So let's come over here and let's see. Yes, my image view got declared. So same thing, I will do it from my next image. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here. Let's change the name to dice2. Okay, it's building. That's the reason it got a little bit freezed. Just wait a while now. It's building. That's the reason it's getting struck. Just a second. Yeah. So I will change this image reference to dice2. Okay. Similarly, I have got button also. So let var btn, whatever name you feel you can give, btn submit colon button. Okay. So the widget has been declared. Now we have to do what? The declaration is done. Next step. Yeah, declared done. Now we have to go for references. Perfect. So we'll go for references. Okay. I'm referring directly over here just to save time. Okay. So dice1 equals to find view by ID. Find, actually compilation is taking place now, so at time it's getting freezed. By ID r dot ID dot yeah, image roll_1. Okay, done. Similarly, dice_2 equals to find view by ID r dot ID dot img roll_2. Okay. Similarly, go for btn submit equals to find view by ID r dot ID dot btn roll. Okay, done. Okay, good. So now we will go for what would be the next step. I have initialized all. Yeah, referencing has been done. Now what? What do you think? What would be the next step now? What would be the next step? Oh, it got disconnected again. Why you can't see the app? Okay, let me stop the application and let me start again. Yeah, okay. So there was one empty image which I forgot to give you last day. So don't think that why this is coming. This is an empty image. Okay. So all total there were seven images, 1 to 6 and one empty image. So see over here, there is one empty image is there. Okay, see, drawable slash dice underscore empty. That's the reason you are not seeing any numbers over here. Okay, so there was all total seven images were there actually. So if I come to the, oh, somebody told me how to change my app name. So suppose if I wish to change this app name to something else, suppose Kotlin dice roll, I want to do it. So what will I do? I will come to my resource. Inside the resource, you will find values. Inside the values, you will find string.xml. The file called string.xml that has got app underscore name property or name key. Whatever string is written over here, that is flashing over there. So if I change it to suppose Kotlin dice roll, I'm giving a space over here, and let's run the program now. Okay, Kotlin dice roll. The name got changed. Yes, now we have to go for button on click listener. So you saw that how to change this. Okay. Now, where from all this information is coming, I told you now, just because this is a workshop, I couldn't say all other thing. It is actually coming from a very important file that is present inside my app folder that is called manifest. Inside the app, there is a folder called manifest. And within that, there is a file called android manifest.xml. There's a file called android manifest.xml. If you open this file, okay, if you open this file, let me close the tab, otherwise you will not be able to see it clearly. Here is the name given actually. See, here is the name given, that which icon it should use. And the label, look, the label is associated with that file @string/app underscore name, which I just now wrote inside the string.xml. See, inside the string.xml, this was the key, no? App underscore name. So from here, whatever I will write over here, from there actually the thing will come over here inside the manifest file. And this file is very important as of real life applications are concerned. Okay, so I will suggest you people really think about developing a project in Android, and then definitely you will be able to explore all these things. Right now we are working on one single activity, but a real life project will not have one single activity. There will be multiple activities. So how would you handle those activities? How will you pass data from one activity to another activity? So when you have got multiple activities, how would you make the very particular activity as a startup activity? All those informations are present over here. Over here, you have information about the theme. As you can see that the color of the app, again, it got disconnected. Slight loose contact is coming over here. That's the reason it is getting disconnected. The app title bar, the app bar, the status bar, the app bar, these colors are coming by default. If you wish to change the color, how would you do that? All these things are possible. So those things are regulated from here only. See, these are themes are there. So these themes actually will trigger this particular folder themes. So from here we have to do changes. Okay. So hopefully, if you are taking further from here onward, definitely you will be able to explore all these things. Okay. So thereafter, you will be able to understand the entire file architecture of an Android project. Okay. So yeah, now coming back to our point. Okay. So you saw already how to change the app name. You saw that. Okay, so now we have to go for on-click listener. Perfect. Yes, on-click listener. So btn submit dot set on-click listener, and we will go with the one that has got a parameter called view. And here we are supposed to run a function. Okay, here we are supposed to run a function which is not there actually. So let me declare a function over here. Give whatever name you feel like, roll dice. I'm giving that name, Brisbane press close, curly bracket, curly close. This function I'm going to call right over here, Brisbane press close. Okay. But before calling, just to confirm if everything is working fine or not, I will just give a print statement. Because my phone was getting loose connected. So great. Okay, so let me run the app once and let me just see if everything is working perfectly well. Okay, so let me open my run. Let's open the run. Okay, so let me tap. Yes, everything is working fine. Fine, perfect. So now we are going to perform our random. Remember, we have to go for random. We need to choose the data randomly. Last day we saw that there were 6 files involved. So if I go to the project, if I go to my MIP map, sorry, not MIP map, to my drawable. MIP map actually is a folder where we basically keep the icon files. Okay, it is also a folder for storing images, but those were basically for icons. Like when you run the app in your mobile phone, you must have seen the default icon. If you want to change the icon, you have to put the icon file in the MIP map folder. But our files were not an icon file, so they were in the drawable folder. So here is our drawable folder. So from dice 1 to dice 6, all those folders were there, and one empty is there, which we are seeing right now. This is the empty file which we are seeing. Okay. So let me declare a variable over here. And I told you that Kotlin has come up with 2 keywords called var and val. We have not seen val yet. So let me introduce the val keyword also. Val. Let me give a name to the variable. Suppose rnum is random, rnum1, because there are 2 images are there. So I'm declaring rnum1, rnum2, something like that. Equals to, last day you saw how we were working with random in Java, but today you are seeing a special operator called range operator. So the range operator is there in Kotlin. ... So starting and ending. Okay. Oh, by mistake I've given 3 dot. It will be 2 dot. So 1 is the lower bound, 6 is the upper bound. Dot, and you directly call the function called random. Yes, I'm calling the random from Kotlin. Okay. Brisbane was closed. See, this is how Kotlin has made use of the random function. This is the way the Kotlin is introducing the random function with the help of the range operator. This was not the syntax of Java last class. This is the syntax of Kotlin. So it has introduced one range operator which has got a lower bound and it has got an upper bound, and it will select a number in between this. Okay. Now we have to go for, I'm going to show you the alternative of switch case. In Kotlin, we don't have the traditional switch case concept. Over here, the concept is slightly different. So again, I'm declaring another variable by the keyword called val, img1 equals to, instead of writing switch, here we have got a new function called when. When Let's see the word when. When is more meaningful. No? When he will come, I will do this. When my mom comes, I will be doing this. Okay. So when means when someone has appeared. Unless and until that person is not turning up, I won't do that. So it is more logical rather than using the word called switch. Okay. Because you can't relate switch with what actually switch was doing. But when means yes, when this is happening, then subsequently this will happen. So I will say R num1, R num1, and then curly bracket and curly bracket close. So this is a new deduction, a new deduction. Okay. So let me scroll up so that you can see sufficiently. So now we will be writing the new syntax of Kotlin. So I will put the cases over here. So when it will be 1 and then an arrow operator. If the randomly chosen number, if the randomly chosen number in between this range is 1, so it will be 1 over here then. So when it will be 1, so when it will be 1, this scenario is going to take place. Just a minute. My system got freezed. Hang on. Wait a minute. There was some, my system is connected with a mobile phone. It is receiving calls. Messages are coming. That's the reason it's getting freezed at times. Yeah. So when it will be 1, then I will give a call to r.drabble, r.drabble 2 dice 1, 2 dice 1. Okay. Sounds very meaningful. Now, what is the meaning? What is happening actually over here? Trying to understand this. In the line number 27, randomly there will be one number chosen. That number will come and get stored in this variable. One at a time it will be coming. So when that number will come over here, and if that number, when I will be receiving 1, then I will say, if my value is 1 based inside this variable, then I will fetch this particular image, which I am going to pass it inside this variable. Similarly, when it will be 2, r dot drabble dot dice 2, r dot drabble dot dice 2. Okay. So this line I have to repeat next 4 times. This is going to be 3, this is going to be 4, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 6, this is going to be 3, this is going to be 4, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 6. And what if, well, that scenario will not take place, but still, what if none of these numbers turn up, then we'll go to the else part. Else, what will happen? I have got another image that is empty, r dot drabble dot empty, that is empty. So when it will be receiving one random number, so this number can be anyone out of this list, whichever will be true, that particular image will be passed on to this variable. So this variable is basically off type image. This variable is off type image, and this is what I'm going to set. And this is what I'm going to set within this image folder. Sorry, this image reference. Okay. So once this has been done, then I will come out of my when and I will say dice1 dot set image resource, set image resource, where from I will get img1. This is the complete syntax. So this is going to work for the first image. This is going to work for the first image. So let me run the first image first, then we will move on. Okay, let me stop the app once because it got freezed for a second, and then let me run it again. I will explain the code, don't worry. Okay. So currently I'm setting the value in image 1. So this one will be affecting. This one will not work. Okay. See, randomly it has chosen 5. So from the range of 1 to 6, a particular number will come over here. That number is coming over here. So the when will be getting triggered only when this variable is having a data. Otherwise, it will not work. So over here it came 5. So when it is 5, it will scan which one is 5. Okay, this one is 5. Great. This image will be retrieved and will store inside this variable called image 1. And when it is image 1, that means this variable got, this work got done, the entire switch case got done, then that value will be set inside the dice image. So over here. Okay. Sounds meaningful? I'm pasting this code in the chat. Who couldn't follow? If it is not clear, tell me. I will explain. Not much time left. So can you try out the second part? Can you try out the second portion? Try the second one. What is going to happen in the second part? Is this part clear? Yes or no? Please respond. Clear. Okay, then go ahead with the second image. Okay, you have sent the code for the second also. Okay. Right. So very much the same. So I will be continuing my work in the same function. So let's come down. Let's create one more variable of type val, and let's go it for 2. Let's just copy the when part, which is a replacement of switch case. The image 1 will be replaced by image 2. rnum2 will be replacing rnum1. So when any one of the number will be chosen, that will come over here, that will be compared with this list. Now, whichever is going to be true, you can see over here, the images are popping up. Okay, the images are coming. So this is the empty image, which will get executed when the dice, if you select some other stuff. And finally, we are going to set the image. Here it is. With image 2. Right. So let me run the code. Victor, are you there?
Yes, Shadoop, I'm there.
Hello, Victor.
Yes, I'm there. Shadoop, I can hear you.
Okay, fine. Because I'm almost done.
Yeah, just ping me when you are done. Then I'll
Okay. Uh-oh. Just a second. Again, it got disconnected. This I have to change to dice 2. Okay. Now let's run the app. So how it is looking? How things is looking? Leave some messages if any portion is not clear. Victor, I think if you allow them to speak, because we are almost done.
Okay, fine. So I'm allowing the mic access.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Yeah, it is on. You can guys turn on your mic if you have something to share.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Sir, I just wanted to say, like, scroll down. Messages. The messages are already there.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Come again.
Sir,
Okay, 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 okay,
Vishwaru.
okay. I didn't scroll down. He was saying
Oh,
to
okay,
scroll
okay,
down. It's perfect.
okay.
Acha, acha. Looking good. Okay. So overall, from our side, we tried to make a small initiative to put forward one of the most renowned technology that Google has put forward in the form of Kotlin. So how the thing was, that's what we are eager to know from your side. So the mic is on. Anybody can share your response. How did you feel? Or you have got anything to share with us? You can also share with us. So how
Yes,
many of
guys.
you?
I would like to ask. Sorry, Sharup, to
Yeah,
interrupt.
yeah,
Shall I?
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So, guys, now it's been 3 sessions. Today is the last session, as you know. So, first of all, how you felt? How was your journey? It was a small initiative to introduce you to the world of mobile application development, and we tried our best so that, I mean, your experience is good. Now, I would ask everyone. I mean, before we take feedback, it was great workshop. Yeah. Acha, Shoaib, right. So you have joined our course, right? Right. Short but went well. Yeah, right. So I would ask. So if you like the session and the content, what do you think about the content? How the mobile application works? Shall I unmute? Yes, yes. Anjali, you can unmute definitely.
Yes, sir. Good
Good
afternoon, everyone,
afternoon.
sir. Actually, what is the thing is that when I am starting my journey as a coding platform, I am in Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata, and I am doing the things like means I'm in IT sector second year. So when I'm doing the things, there are various problems, and I just want something like I want someone who can guide me well, so that whatever the problems I have in my coding journey or something, I can implement that. So in our syllabus, like Java and everything are there, and apart from that, I'm trying to learn web development. And when I saw this like app development, I just get a big interest, but I was not sure that whether I would be able to implement or not because I have zero idea about app development.
Okay.
But these 3 days sessions at least gave me an idea like how the things work, so that if I want to go deeper in this, I can go that.
Right, right.
Great, great. So we are happy to help you in any sort. So like we take your feedback. Just write in that feedback what you feel and what you want. And anyone else? I mean, before I just I would like to interact with all of you guys. Please one by one, can you just open your mic and just tell me how do you feel and what was your experience? And trust me, we will be coming many more sessions like this, many more session. So like with your cooperation and with your interest, see, it's all depends on your interest. If you are interested, we'll be coming soon with many more such sessions. So can I hear all others?
Put forward your suggestion. That's what we are looking forward.
Yes,
Right.
sir. A very good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
Sir, actually, I just wanted to uh, compliment Swaroop sir's like method of teaching. It was so neat and like to the point. Like sir explains it like very basics, like so bluntly, so slowly and calmly. It just makes it even more better. So yeah, I'm really looking forward for the actual classes which will be on from 26th May.
So a
Uh,
big round of applause for Sharup sir, definitely from
Thank you.
all our end.
Sir, is he the instructor for the
You are talking about your Android course starting from 26 May, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, Sharup sir will take the class only.
Okay, sir. Great, sir. Then it would be
Okay.
a
Thank
great.
you very
And,
much.
and guys, if before I move ahead, and sorry for all those nonsense comment and all. I mean, on our behalf, we can say sorry, but we tried as much as possible to monitor them. There would be such nuisances, you know that. So again, sorry for that. So others, I can see Archana. Can you just don't be sorry? No problem. Archana, can you just open your mic? I'll ask one by one. Just give me a few words. How do you like the session?
Any form of advice can also be effective to us
Yeah,
because
we're
we
open to
also,
advices.
yeah, we also want to improve ourselves. Nobody is perfect in this world. So any suggestion from your end also can be very effective to us.
All right.
And
Instead of calling by name, I would like to hear any more representative from this session who want to speak a little bit about the session. How is your experience and journey? Any volunteer? Just like we had two so far, Anjali and Shoaib. Others? Anyone? Don't worry. I understand. Like people feel shy speaking. I mean, in front of others. So, any representative, if anyone want to speak something, we'll definitely take it in written. But if you have anything to say, anything to share,
see, language is not the barrier. Whichever language you feel comfortable,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
please. I understand Hindi, English, and Bengali, but I would ask speak in Hindi or English because there are other people who do not understand Bengali. So either in Hindi or English. Language is never a barrier; it's just a mode of communication.
Because when you people will be saying something to us, it is directly coming from the student end, and that what actually helps us to improve also, right? And you know that in the virtual mode of training, a lot of issues are there. So we also try to keep everything steady so that we can reach our target within a time span, right? Means this is also what matter today is how do you complete the whole session within a time span, and lastly it should be very much project oriented, because when you will go for the interview in your CV you have to write down the project name. That's the very important thing, and your project has to be there in GitHub. The link has to be there in the CV, so that before the recruiter have a talk with you, they can just go through the link and they can figure out what kind of coding skill you have done actually. So that's the reason IT, CS, even other department also, you have to get yourself into the platform where you have obtained some project before you sit for your first interview. Okay.
All right. Any more volunteer? Like as you see,
A very
like
good
yeah, please, Dhirendra, go ahead.
sorry, sir. Good
Yeah.
afternoon to both. the
We'll ask.
teachers here. Sir, I want to thank you for this workshop. It was so helpful. And sir, how can we say anything? It was so good. मतलब सर मतलब कुछ है ही नहीं कमी बताने को. बहुत अच्छा था ये. Yes sir.
We are overwhelmed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? और कोई है जो बताना चाहेगा, कुछ शेयर करना चाहेगा?
These what actually motivates us. This is what that will feel us, so that next time when we'll come up, we will be more active, more target oriented. Okay. Because
And
we want as a like, we're coming from the development sector, we want that you should always come up with projects. We feel very bad that there is a huge difference between academic and the professional world. When you land up in the professional world, you realize that you have got the bookish knowledge, but your affection toward the coding has not actually developed. Now, that's something which we don't feel like seeing in you people. Okay, there are a huge scope. A lot of good companies are there with a very healthy pay package. Just that you need to have love toward coding, and that's the reason why these kind of uh, workshops, trainings are all provided to you guys. Yes. Anything anyone else would like to say? Could be anything.
और कोई है? Anyone? Any more volunteer? Acha, one more thing, like this is a mixed crowd. I mean, we have people from West Bengal, Kolkata. We have people from Punjab. So we have people all across. So that's a very good experience. And like, if you have something to share, I mean, how do you feel and all? So please go ahead. Else, like we would conclude, and before that, we'll make some announcement as I promised. There will be some surprises also. So please go ahead. If you have something, please do share. All right. If you don't want to open your mic, can you quickly write in the chat box? Okay, sir, please go ahead. All of you. All people out here, can you please write something in the chat box? Open up the surprise. All right. Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, no problem. Anjali. Okay. So, guys, first of all, sir, we want more sessions like this. So, what we can improve our skills and build our skills? Yes, definitely, Archana. So, we'll be coming up with more session. First, before I just announce the surprises, first thing, like I hope now you have seen with this within this span of 3 days that this takes some time to build your skill, actual skill in the industry, as Sharup sir rightly pointed out. And trust me, we work closely with the industry. Your 4 year of BTech degree or whatever MC or BCA degree, that's just the starting point that you can learn. Actually, when you come to industry, you see it's a completely different world actually, and there is no spoon feeding. You need to upskill yourself, and no one is. I mean, no sugarcoat word would be there. If you don't perform, like it's a tough world. You will understand the heat. So, so thing is that like over these 3 days, it is definitely not ample time to give you the skill set that you require to start your journey as a web development. Sorry, your mobile application development. So we have some detailed and advanced program. We will be starting 3 courses. One on May 26. Many people has already joined. One on June 20. One on July 4. So because I understand different people has different exam timeline. So if you think of some detailed courses, I'll share the details as well. You can think of those courses where there will be a 60 hours course. It's a complete details course to I mean teach you mobile application development from scratch. And just those the surprises, those who join the session, first surprise, that those who join this session, as we are talking about many more such session, one session would be complimentary session would be on CV and video resume. So these days, post COVID era, the corporate world has changed. Yes, CB would be always there, and along with the CB, as Sharup sir also mentioned in the on the first day, that you have to showcase your actually portfolio. That showcasing would be video resume. So we'll conduct a workshop on CV and video resume, how to build professional CVs, how to use LinkedIn. So we'll have a session. We'll announce it soon. You'll get the information by mail. And there were other thing, as I mentioned, there will be three courses starting soon. One on 26th May and one on 20th July. One on 4th of 20th June. One on 4th of July. So this course, as you attended these sessions, everyone is getting a 20% discount. But as being a you attended these sessions, this workshop, so you are getting a privilege, another 10% discount on course fees. It's optional. If you want, you can wish, you can check the syllabus. I'll share the details. And lastly, it's a special early bird offer. If you join it by today, the link will be open till 10 p.m. tonight. If you join it by tonight, then you'll get another 10% discount. So total you will get 40% discount. But if you join after today, then discount will be of course less. So I'll share the details quickly in the chat box. And about the additional sessions, as you are registered with us, round the year we conduct many skill building workshop and seminars. You'll always get those information being our privileged student. So don't worry, those would be always shared with you. Those would be at no cost. And right now I'll be sharing this course detail in the chat box. I'm writing this. See, this is the course link. Those who have joined already starting on 26, you need not to bother. But others who have who think that they want a detailed course, so this is the course we are suggesting: Android app development using Kotlin. It will be 60 hours course starting from scratch. We'll develop 4-5 project, and you need to apply this coupon code to avail that special discount. And this coupon code will be valid till 10 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow, if you join with that coupon code, the discount would be obviously less. So I repeat, this would be valid till 10 p.m. tonight only. And on that, we'll be looking forward for many more session. And if you join these courses, there are 3 batches. We'll starting one on May, one on June, one on July. So as per your exam and all, you can choose any batch. And like those courses will be teaching you hands-on, starting from scratch, how to build your and how to actually how you can evolve as a mobile application developer. With that 60 hours course, you are definitely will bridge the gap and will be at par with the industry standard. Many online classes and webinar, but never ever continued till the end because of after something that classes bored me. But I'm happy to say this is the first time I done these classes for 3 hours each day without exiting for a single time. Speaking thanks to Sharif sir. Thank you, Sharif sir, and thank you guys. So that is our objective. Round the year we'll be conducting such session, and you'll always get the first hand information, all of you. Thank you, Shubhrato. And this is the course details as I mentioned. I'll put it again in the chat box. The coupon code, 40% coupon code will be valid till 10 p.m. Tomorrow, if you join, it will be only 30% discount. But that is also for you people. Others, they will get 20% discount. So I'll quickly share the feedback form now. Link in that feedback form also you'll get that link of that course. And also I have shared the URL. You can just check that URL. That course is mentioned. If any issue, you have our number. This is our number, official number. Just a second. You already have it, I hope. If no, you can note it down. Anytime you can call us on this number. And this is our official mail ID. We'll be soon conducting one workshop on Android. I mean, one workshop on CV and video resume, and another workshop that we announced earlier. That was the second. That is the third surprise, that we'll be conducting that web development of workshop very soon. We'll announce that also, and that would be a 2-day or 3-day workshop. So that would be announced. And this is the feedback link. Just a second. In feedback link also, you'll get this course details. So this is the feedback link. Fill it up. Your certificate would be shared within 7 days. Those who attended all sessions, they'll get the certificate. So before I wrap it up here, that would be all from our end. This window will be open for, active for next 10 minutes. You can note down all the details. and we wish you all the luck. Not luck, I would say. We wish you all the best. Basically, I don't believe in luck. You make your own luck. So thank you everyone. If you have something to say, please go ahead. Else this window will be active for next 10 minutes.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Yes.
can you send the video lecture note all 3 days?
Yes. All 3 days video link would be shared in your mail. Already 2 days are shared, including the third day. All the days would be shared with your mail, registered mail ID
Within today?
within next 24 hours.
Okay, sir.
But you'll get it by Monday because tomorrow is Sunday. We are not working on Sunday.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, if anyone, anything else, please go ahead. Else, we can call it a day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this session. I mean, your participation. Thank you all, and we are looking forward to see you again. Thank you, Sharup sir, if you are present.
Yeah, Victor, thank you everyone. Bye bye from my end.
Yeah.
Bye bye, Victor.
Thank you, everyone. So we can leave. Note down the details. Fill up the feedback form. We can leave, and this window will be active for next 10 minutes. So you can note
Sir,
it down. Yeah, please go ahead.
sir, that web development course you said means the works after the workshop, will you provide the means like course like this?
Yeah, we Anjali, yeah, right. So you can check our website. Already mentioned there. Okay, I'll put it there. There is already a web development course. There is a course we are launching on 26th of May. That is Manstack development using Manstack development starting from 26th May. So you can check this course. Uh, you go to our courses, go to summer skill courses, and then summer winter training. You'll see that course Manstack development from zero to hero. So you check, there is syllabus, every detail is mentioned. If you are interested in that, you give me a call back because I mean, if as you attended this session, we'll make you avail the special discount.
Okay,
Just
sir.
call on that number. Call on that number. Whenever you need to speak, just ask them that you want to speak to Victor. They'll pass on the number. So I'll speak to you and I'll make sure you get the same discount. Anjali, anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome. That course also starting on 26th of May. So that would be it from my end. Please do share our YouTube channel and join our YouTube channel. You will get many content in that. We keep on adding the content that is useful to you. So please join our YouTube channel. Please do follow, like, share. That would be our motivation. Okay. You have our YouTube channel link. Else we'll also share in your mail. Course indent prints. It will end by 6th of July. If you join the 26th May batch, it will end by 6th of July. There will be 6-week program. 6th July.